Hi, Brian McAboy here. And today we're going to talk about something that's really super important if you're tired of fighting the same issues over and over and over and over and over again in your trading and you really like to get past it. Here's what I'm talking about. So many traders, they're looking at, the discipline issues. They keep making the same mistakes over and over again. They keep encountering FOMO and chasing trades. And again, they're finding that they're just repeating a lot of stuff. And there's a reason that these things persist. And it's not because you lack willpower. It's not because you lack discipline. It's not because there's something wrong with you. The problem here is that when you're sitting there trying to just force your way through things and just be more disciplined and control your emotions and all that kind of stuff, the reason that stuff isn't working and your problems persist is because when you do that, you're fighting symptoms. You're not addressing the root cause. That's why the symptoms, the problems don't go away because you're not addressing what's really causing the problems. Okay, so what's causing the problems? Why do you encounter FOMO? Why do you hesitate? Why do you move your stops when you're not supposed to? What's really going on here? And so the thing is, it's good to understand this. One of the main things that causes this, and this might sound odd, it might sound real counterintuitive, but it's true. It's just like anything else. Any other activity that you would want to get into that requires good, consistent execution, good performance, is you haven't been properly trained for this. You might know what to do. You might know how to do what you're supposed to do. You might be able to trade, but that doesn't make you good at it, at least not good enough. And the thing is, when you're sitting there and you're looking at the markets and you're feeling that FOMO or that urge to jump on something because you're seeing it over here, that urge is coming from a place of insecurity in you. That's where it's coming from. Because if you think about it, at some level, you know that even when you're getting in on a good trade, even when you got a winner, there are still a jillion other trades out there that you're not part of, but you're not flipping out about them. They still exist. Okay, so this fear of missing out, it's a misnomer. It really is not an accurate description of the problem. It's what it feels like. Oh yeah, man, I'm seeing the money making. I'm missing out on it. I got to jump on it. It's like that's the surface level thing. What's going on underneath, and it really is the root cause of the problem is it's an insecurity in yourself and or your system. Because if you were really secure in your strategy and your ability to trade it effectively, consistently, day in and day out, when you're trading from a place of consistency and security, you can see all the money that's flowing around the markets and it doesn't bother you. You don't feel like you have to dive into everything. You can actually settle down because now, when you're properly leveled up, you know exactly what you're looking for. You know that what you have is a proper plan. It does fit you, it's going to provide for you and meet all your financial goals. And you know that it's solid. And again, you're operating from a position of calm, from a position of security. You know that you're solid. You know that what you have works. You know how well it works. You know that you're good trading it. And so you can sit here and the markets can do whatever they want and it doesn't taunt you. The reason it taunts you is because, again, of that insecurity. Now, how about it's hesitation? Maybe it's hesitation. With hesitation, a lot of times it's because there's something wrong in what you have. Maybe there's some holes in your process or some things that aren't quite right. Maybe you're trading with a strategy that doesn't quite fit you because you bought it from somebody else because you heard it makes money. And so the thing is, sometimes and a lot of times it's a flaw in the process itself, the system that they've sold you. A lot of times that's a contributor. A lot of times it's also the strategy. There might be certain things about it that just don't quite agree with how you perceive the markets and how you think. And so that internal conflict causes you to hesitate. So, how do you address that? You want to make sure that you have a strategy that really is a true fit for you, one that really resonates with you, where you don't second guess it. You're not uncomfortable at times trading it. It just plain works for you and you know that it makes money. So that's the first thing. You're working with the right strategy. Next thing is you got to have a good solid process that produces predictable, repeatable results. And a strategy and a process are not the same thing. A lot of people think, oh, yeah, I got a great strategy. I'm set. No. Your process, or some people refer to it as your system, but it's your process for trading. Your strategy is how you plan to get in and out of the markets. Your process is how you're going to execute that strategy over and over again, hundreds or even thousands of times consistently. And if you don't have a solid, you may have a great strategy, but if you don't have a solid process, you're going to get inconsistent results. And of course, there's you executing the trades. If you don't know how to build confidence with a strategy and a system and a process, and you don't know how to undo the damage of the past painful experiences and some of the conditioning that's taken place just from your trading experience. Not that there's anything wrong with you personally, but if you don't know how to fix your head, now you're contributing to the problem. So there's a range of things. It's not just one thing. And that's part of why it's been so hard to figure out, because it's not just one thing. Usually, because to make trading work, there's a handful of things and they all need to be working. You, just kind of like with your human body, you can't have your heart and your stomach working fine, but your lungs aren't. No, everything needs to be working. And if something's not working, that's a problem. Trading's the same way. If you got a strategy, it's not the right strategy for you, or if it's a suck strategy, not going to work. If you don't have a good repeatable process to work with, that's a problem. If you're a part of the problem, because again, your mental conditioning, you haven't been trained properly on how to execute consistently, you haven't been able to fix the damage of the past, that kind of stuff. You got to have all these things in place to really trade and trade well and trade comfortably. And until you get everything working right, you're going to keep having this other stuff that messes with you, symptoms of the underlying problem. The underlying problem is your machine is not complete. And so there's something that needs to be addressed there. When you address that, then these other issues go away. And that's cool. So I hope this has been helpful. If it has, subscribe to my channel. Got lots of videos like this on how to be a successful trader, the realities of being a professional trader that earns professional pay. If you enjoyed this, share it with your friends. Give me a subscribe down below. Comment. Let me know what would be helpful for me to make a video on, or just if you got a good takeaway out of this. If you would, like I said, drop me a comment down below. I do read the comments. I'd love to help you get there and have trading be all that you signed up for it to be in the first place. So again, Brian McAboy with InsideOutTrading.com. Talk to you soon.